Hello awesome people, what is going on? It is BradPhusion here and welcome back to another episode of Phusion Industries. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys the ship I've been working on for quite a few weeks now and a smaller ship I did on the side for my survival series. So the first ship is called the Alistair MK3 and it's called the Mark III because I've gone through a few variants of it in its creation. So this is the Alistair MK3 here. This is more of a patrol slash protector type ship, I guess you'd say. It's more of a police force of sorts. It's not really equipped with too much heavy weaponry, though it is good at speed and it is good at taking out what it needs to take out with very little casualties. So it is equipped with 2 chain guns as you see on the front here, or 2 miniguns, whatever you guys want to call them, or Gatling cannons, Gatling guns, so on and so forth. And then you have an actual cannon on the top there, which is controlled by the second pilot, or the actual gunner itself. So this does have 2 cockpits, one for the pilot and one for the gunner. And it is equipped with these 6 large engines, 3 on either side here. Now I have designed these in such a way that they don't actually burn and interact with each other in any way, even with thruster damage turned on. That's kind of the whole point of this. I did like this design. This is what originally made me want to create this vessel, so I've gone with the this engine formation here, which seemed to work out rather nicely. And here you have a different painted color. This here felt more police-like to me, the whole white and blue thing, so I decided to keep that. But I decided to go with the darker variant just to see, maybe for piracy, maybe for something else, I don't know, but it's here nonetheless, and it looks kind of cool in its colors as well. So these will be up on the workshop, at least the blue one will be. I won't be uploading the entire world, as this world does get a little bit laggy now, so I've tried to remove what I can, but you guys will just be seeing the ship anyway. So this is what I originally started with. This was kind of like the Mark I, I guess, but this was still before it was even really built. So this was me thinking, this is how I want the thrusters to be, this is how I want the ship to look. And originally I had it so that the top thrusters were on the outside there, and the bottom ones were kind of a little bit further inwards. But they were designed in such a way that the exhaust, or the thrust from this, wouldn't actually interact with this one at all. Because this is only 2 blocks high, it would actually just fit between here without much worries or anything. And I already had the front basically designed. I think I put these a little bit further inwards, or no, they're still kind of stuck out. And you have the cockpits here as well, and then the gun on the top here. Now the gun itself doesn't really do too much damage, it does do a fair amount, and I will actually show you guys that in a second. But it isn't exactly the heaviest of cannons, so whilst the pilot has access to these guns here to take down whoever they're in a dog chase with, this one here could easily take out either anyone following behind them, or even just to get their own shot on the person that they are chasing. Very effective, and I actually do like how this ship turned out. It was one of these ships that I'd spent weeks on. And the reason why I spent weeks on this ship is because I couldn't get the damn end done, like the back here between all the motors. And it just took me so long, because I was originally going to make it a carrier type, a patrol carrier, where you'd actually have seats on the inside. It never really worked out like that because of the amount of power needed for the thrusters and so on and so forth. So I just kind of left it like you see over here, basically. So it's got itself its own little groove, and this ship has a lot of grooves on it, and I'll show you guys them in a second, but that's basically how the ship looks. I like it. I like how it turned out, and actually if I get inside the ship, oddly enough, you have to get inside and get out of it again to get the thrusters to turn on. I don't know what that is. It has something to do with, I think, either the mods or the reactors. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to disengage the landing gear. I'm going to fly up here just so you guys can see underneath the ship a little bit, and this will be the one that we are flying around anyway. So it does have landing gear built into it, though you're more than welcome to remove them. I just put these here just because it kind of suits itself having a landing gear and so on. This has been designed in such a way, and you guys can, I don't know if my light will really help, it might do. This here, you can actually see all the grooves I've decided to put in this, and if you're wondering why it's so smooth, I've been using blast door blocks, or not blast door blocks, I've been using, if the menu wants to load here in a second, yeah, it is blast door blocks. So I've been using these mostly for the whole smooth design, and it looks really nice on either pure white or pure black, just because you don't get the lines in between each of them. But I thought you guys might want to see some of the grooves I had actually put into this design here, that actually make it look like, I don't know, something unique, I guess. But anyway, that's it for this ship. Anyway, I'm going to be moving on real quickly to this little thing over here. Now this was made for my survival series because I wanted something I could transfer through the Stargate that I can actually keep inside my Phoenix. So it didn't really take up too much space, but actually had a decent cargo capacity, at least more than what I could carry myself. So here we have a really teeny drone. He doesn't have a name yet. He has a few thrusters on either side, and he has a really large cargo container on the center here, and you can see the reactors on the back and so on and so forth. this is him without his top on, basically. So you guys can see how the actual container sits in there. Now, oddly enough, I did have the original design with these small cargo containers on the exterior here. Now, I had these because I thought that they would have interacted with this cargo door here, or this conveyor tube, or whatever you want to call these access points. I had it here thinking it would actually interact with it, but apparently it doesn't, which is rather strange. But this is one of the hauler containers, part of the hauler container mod pack, and you guys I will obviously put all these links in the description down below. But these can fit up to quite a fair bit if you actually have your game settings on 10 times, which I do, because I hate having a really small inventory size. But yeah, that's it for this little guy. If you guys want to name this, I'll let you guys do that. I'll also let you guys name it when I actually build it in my survival series. But yes, it has another reactor on the front there, a small camera. You guys can see that it has an RC unit, a antenna, and a gyroscope. And I might as well control this little thing first before actually controlling the big ship up there. So let me go sit on the seat over here. I think I can control it from here. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see. If we have a small... Oh, there we go. So RC unit. And you guys can see just how adorable this thing actually handles. So it handles kind of like Kara does, just because of its small size. And it does fit through a Stargate. It even fits inside of a ship. Surprisingly, it only really takes up just a little bit over 1 by 1 of a block. And I'll show you guys that once I land it real quick here. But it is fast. It is mobile. It's really, like I said, really adorable. And I don't know. I thought I liked building this thing, so I'm gonna keep it. I think I don't have a name for it, but it still it serves its purpose. And I'm just gonna quickly land it down here. I just wanted to show you guys. I'm a little bit on an angle there, but you guys can see, hopefully, that it's not much bigger than 1 block. It can most likely fit in, going a little bit on its side there, so it can actually fit in through small spaces. But it does its job very well, don't you, little guy? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Okay, so let's fly around the Alistair MK3, shall we? So let me get inside the main cockpit here. This is the main cockpit, on the one on the front, and you guys can see the view you get. Quite nice, not really many obstructions or anything. And then you have the cockpit up here, which gives you access to the gun. Now, obviously, this guy can't control the ship, but he can control the gyroscopes. There's no way to change that. But I can't control the thrusters, at least I shouldn't be able to. Yeah, so you guys can see it's unticked here. I would like to be able to toggle off the ability to control gyroscopes on this thing, but I'm not really complaining about that. So when you're in the gunner seat, you just press 1 and you have access to this gun here, which you can hear me shooting, so on and so forth. I'll put up a quick wall here eventually, once I finish flying around, just so you guys can see exactly how much damage that does, whether it does a lot or not so much at all. So let me just copy this thing here, and I'll shoot down another Alistair just to give it a reason. So let me quickly get in and out. So the thrusters are ready, and I'll show you guys the speed here. I actually have a chance to use this thing, which is surprising in itself. So this is something I built to gather distance numbers when you're actually flying your ship, so you can see what speed you actually achieve from flying past here. So let me just go here. Now these thrusters are very fast, I have to admit. So let's get ready to try this, shall we? Let's get ready to go. And 3, 2, 1. Keep an eye on the speed thing, and let's go. And we are up to speed in a little about, I didn't even know how many numbers that was. Not very long though. It didn't take us even as long as half of that thing to get up to speed. So maybe about 200 meters, I think it was, that I saw ourselves hit the speed marker. It was somewhere around about here. So yeah, around about 200 meters it took us to reach maximum speed, which is great. And let me just fly this third person, just so you guys can see just how awesome of a ship this is. I really like this one. This, like I said before, it's not the most powerful of ship, but I don't think it's meant to be the most powerful of ship. I like it being a ship that can actually protect people. A ship that, like I said, it's more of a guardian, or a protector, or a defender of sorts. Hence why it has its very specific name. I like this thing. It's something that, like I said, I put a few weeks into simply because I couldn't get the end of it done. But I like the end results that I got here. And it doesn't overcharge with its power usage. I mean, hell, I could probably remove some of the reactors it has inside of this thing. But nonetheless, though, it does the job rather nicely, and it is, like I said, rather fast. And now, obviously, I can't switch to the gun being in the pilot seat, but I can just obviously add the group there if I felt the need to. Instead, I'm just going to fly all the way back here. I don't have the increased speed mods on, so I am flying at normal speeds here. What I'll do is I'll get just about here, get out, and I'll get inside this thing, control the gun, and just do like a few little pot shots, just so you guys can see how this actually works. I mean, yeah, pretty simple, I guess you did expect it to be. But anyway, we just did a few shots, and let me get back out of the seat here. Oh fuck, we can just control it via this one anyway. We should be able to work for us. So turn the dampers on. We'll head back, and I'll do a few more shots just from a better perspective. I guess like a tailing perspective would probably be a little bit nicer. Now keep in mind that the ship is also using the blast door blocks, which do have a higher density than the normal armored blocks, even the heavy armored. Sorry. So I was already in the seat. So let me just go back here, control the gun, and again, you can probably see that within a few shots, a engine is actually disabled. So I think for the most part, that's probably what the ship is going to focus on, is taking out the engines of another vessel, so that they most likely won't be able to escape at all. And if I focus on the soft spot of the ship here, I can probably easily break through. And I'm just going to quickly stop firing here, get out and have a look myself, just to see what we've actually done. So I need to turn my dampers on. But you guys can see that all these thrusters have been disabled. You guys can see I've disabled a reactor on the backside here, and I've actually torn a little hole in the backside of this ship here, as well as a slight little bit of indentation. Now the armor doesn't seem to handle too well with being broken by the fact that it looks really weird when it starts to crack and morph, which is a little interesting. But still, you guys can see. Actually, I think there was another reactor in the back there. I'm not too sure. Let's just quickly check the spaces. So I could have thought, oh no, I guess maybe not, maybe there's a floating piece in there. I just thought maybe I had an extra one, but it seems like I've only just started to destroy the back one there. But let me put out something that's got a little bit more normal armor, so you guys can actually just see what that would be like. We'll go here. Actually, do I have a ship in my inventory that I can just quickly spawn in? Let's go with something a little bit small. The Phantom Fighter, there we go. That is almost perfect for this. I thought you were the Phantom Fighter. You seem to be an older Phantom Fighter variant. No biggie. We'll still deal with you in time. So let me get back inside the gun here. Let me reposition myself. I can't even see the thing. There it is. And again, firing at the ship. And you guys can see if I use a different perspective here. Surprisingly, I still have the turret at the way. But that is just part of the whole, I think, mod issue thing. If I fire it, you guys can still see that I am doing a fair amount of damage. Let me just quickly slow down here. And if I change to F9, I think I can control the gun and how it actually fires on the ship. So again, it does easily take out components rather nicely. Even the armor is not really much of an issue for this thing. So it is quite, like I said, in itself, in its own rights, it is quite a powerful gun, and that's what I like about it. But it isn't too overpowered to just suddenly blow up an enemy ship. It will leave you disabled, so that they can actually capture you and send you to justice. Well, maybe not in this guy's case. Anyway, I'll leave this here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I apologize for there not being any Ascension video today, as I do have a few things planned in personal life, so this is going to be the only video of today. Again, my apologies, but hopefully you guys enjoy this ship, and hopefully you guys have a lot of fun with it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what the little guy's name should be, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay awesome everyone, and thanks for watching.